Hey everyone, Chris Dawson here, running for Invercargill City Council. And one thing that came up when I was talking to some other candidates last week, was how do we deal with misinformation? Well, that one's a hard one. So let's start at the beginning. What's misinformation? Well, in the old days, we used to call it basically bullshit. That's what misinformation is. And there's two main sources of it that I can tell. The first one is the media. And I use that term very loosely down here. But the problem with the media is they want to sell you newspapers. They want clicks on their websites because this is what generates money and income for them. So the key factor here is sensationalism. So if you actually go back to my very first video, I was dealing with misinformation. That was about the 1.98 million the council was allegedly going to spend rebuilding the clock tower. And of course, when you get a headline like, council to spend 1.98 million rebuilding dumb clock tower, people are gonna click in the comments and go nuts, and you've got clicks on your website, you've sold your newspapers, and you're rubbing your hands together. But if you actually reported what was happening, which was council budgets $1 million for clock tower and intends to spend $1 million on clock tower, that's a boring story. No one's gonna read that. No one's gonna go straight to the comments and express their outrage. So you go with the more sensationalist headline. And unfortunately, I am still getting people asking me, are we really spending 1.98 million on a clock tower? Because now it's ingrained in people's psyches that that's what the council's doing. And refuting that level of BS is virtually impossible. Like, you could hit them over the head with the report and say, look, it's right here. So that's the first problem. That's where first problem when it comes to misinformation. The second is people. Human memory is notoriously unreliable, including my own. That's why I write everything down and make notes on where I find the information I present in these videos. And I'm not here to bullshit you, okay? If you think I'm telling porkies, feel free to drop into the comments and say, hey, show us you're working. And I'll say, hey, look, here's the meeting agenda, here's the report, here's the council meeting live stream, where you can find the information I'm presenting to you. I am not here to feed you nonsense. So this really comes to the crux of the matter, because the second lot, when I say people are the second source of misinformation, / bullshit, I swear this is the last time I'll bring up the mayor's debate, but check out this clip.
According to the 2023-2024 report, we are at about $323 million worth of debt.
There's none. There are no librarians in the library because high-paid consultants came through and reformed the library.
So yeah, this was actually a pretty hot topic on the night and was instantly refuted by Councillors Alex Cricket and Councillor Tom Campbell, and they jumped all over it. There was actually a librarian in the audience jumping all over the claim that there's no librarians working at the library anymore. But either way, despite the fact these two claims were both instantly refuted there and then, I've seen them both on social media in the last week, because the information got out there, and it's not good information, it's misinformation. Because that figure that we're $318 million in debt is a pure fabrication. Council releases a pre-election financial report that's available on their website. If you want a link, let me know, I'll drop it into the comments, but I've read it, and I've read that our debt is currently $173 million. That's it. It's not 318. And doing creative accounting to get that number, what does it achieve? Nothing, because it's so easily refuted, but people believe it because they want the sensationalist headline, they want the worst case scenario, they want to think the absolute worst of the city council. So how do we combat this? This is the way I'm doing it, is through these videos. And like I say, if you ever think I'm pulling your leg, by all means, challenge me, I'll drop my information in the comments and you can make up your own mind. But just be very wary out there of what people are telling you and what they're trying to feed you, and whether they're trying to get you to buy a newspaper or to click on their website. Question other people's motives, and you'll be a big way towards combating misinformation, or bullshit, as most normal people call it. Anyway, that's enough for me for today. I'm going to go and make some figures up and just lie about stuff, because that's apparently the way to the top. No, that's politicking, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But anyway, drop into the comments, let me know what you think. Cheers.